This MFL Marmac Coach Conversation brought to you by Havlicek Trucking, Meyer Auto Service, and Birdnow Chevrolet. Dan Anderson is the head coach of the MFL Marmac Bulldogs, and he joins us to preview week number 1 of the season. And Dan, it's a new season. It's a new group of kids. It's a new dynamic, new opponents, new district, new class for you. A lot of things are new, but quality football kids remain the same. And I'd imagine you got to be excited about the guys you got coming back.
Yeah, we are. We're excited about what we've got coming back. We're turning 8 starters on offense and 9 on defense. And so when you go to the state quarterfinals, with the team last year, I'll be honest, we kind of consider those guys last year to be a bit of overachievers. We thought we'd have take some lumps, until we could figure things out with some of those new guys on the offensive line. And the thing is, we did have some problems with our offensive line last year with all those new faces in there. But we won in other ways. We won with good special teams, good defense, and they started figuring things out. By the end of the season, they were a really good, solid offensive line. And now we've got 4 of those 5 guys back. So, defensively, we've got our front 7 back from last year, all of them, all our linebackers and D linemen. And so we've got 2 of our 4 defensive backs back. So we feel pretty fortunate about what we have coming back for this season.
You've been at practice for about 3 weeks now. What's pleased you the most?
Well, the kids' attitudes are great. They usually are, but their attitudes are good. They're confident. They're not arrogant, but they're confident. They feel good. They understand, they've been put in some tough games. We've been in, those guys, a lot of those guys have played in 6 playoff games over the last 2 seasons. I mean, we've got guys that are seniors that have been playing since their sophomore, or even, Gabe's case, he's been starting since his freshman year, and Cullen's been starting since his sophomore year. So, we've got guys that have played a lot of varsity football games and a lot of experience. So, I'm glad that we've got the right attitude, and they've, they're confident in what they're doing. We made a lot of gains in strength and speed in the off season. When our season ended last year to St. Ansgar, I think somebody forgot to tell our players that, because on Monday they were back in the weight room working, and there really wasn't an off season for a lot of these kids. It was still football. They didn't want it to end, and so they kept going. And it showed. The kids that we've got back on the offensive line are all 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier. One kid's put on 40 plus pounds of muscle. Crazy. He just hit a growth spurt. So we got some size. We're not huge, but on our offensive line, we've got guys that are experienced coming back, and our skill guys too. Gabe's still about the same size, but Cullen's put on 10 pounds of muscle, and Stocker's put on some muscle. And speed, when we tested them out, all that, they were faster. Decker's running blazing fast times that we've never seen before here in 22 years. So we feel pretty fortunate. We're much further along than we were last year at this time. I think with our 4-day camp that we had, it's optional, but everybody usually shows up, and you know how that works. Most people are supposed to be there at our camp. We were able to install much of our offense, and I think there at the end of the first day of official practice, we had 84% of our offense already installed. So in one day, of real practice, we had, not saying we ran it perfect, but that's the whole goal, is to try to get it there by game 1. But we had a lot of our things that we hadn't installed until middle season last year already installed in the first week. So pretty happy about that.
Obviously, the program level has risen these last couple of years. You got to the playoffs and won a playoff game a couple of years ago, and went pretty deep into the playoffs last year. There's being that program on the rise, and now there's some expectations for your program. You're getting a lot of attention right now. How do you keep your kids at a level head and realize that there's a lot of work that went into getting the program to this level, but there's often even more work to keeping it at this level?
That's for sure. They understand that. You kind of challenge them, and and when things aren't going quite right in practice, you kind of say, what do you guys want to be the team that underachieves and the guys that let everybody else down that's built this? You need to get going. Let's pick it up. And they understand that. They understand that we need to continue to be the hunter and not the hunted. And so we were the hunter before, And now, we're the team with the big crosshairs on our back, and we got to understand that we need to be proactive. Our guys, like I said, they're confident. They need to keep doing that. They need to be hungry and determined to eat. They need to be, they want to keep going and not just be happy with what we've done. They want to go further, and the coaches do. And I think that after last season, that was the mentality. These guys, the season didn't end, and they weren't satisfied with the quarterfinals. These guys want to get into the Unidome, and we've got an extremely tough schedule, and they understand how much work it's going to take. We got to, when you're the hunter, you got to, plan your hunt, and then you got to hunt with your plan. And that's the mentality we've got. We got to understand that people are coming after us, and we're not going to let them. We're going to go after them, and we're not going to let teams sneak up on us.
And there is a new schedule, quite a few new opponents, quite a few quality opponents this year. Does that change your approach at all to this season? Or is it just a case of what you just mentioned? This is how we got here. This is how we're going to stay here.
Yeah, your approach doesn't change. Just you have to understand. I think the kids have to understand, and the fans and everybody around us, that we still go in every game expecting we're going to win the game. But there's going to be a lot of close games this year, whether we win or lose. We expect them to be a really tight ball game. So you have to be in good physical condition. You have to make sure that everybody on your team is getting reps, and we're trying to get all of our second teamers and third teamers equal reps or near equal reps. About every 3 reps, we're rotating guys in and out, because if someone goes down, there's no excuse. We just have to make sure that if someone takes an injury or goes down, that the next guy in will do their job, and we can still win those tight ball games. And so the mentality really hasn't changed. We just know that the games are going to be tighter this year. The schedule's tough. When we asked for that, it wasn't we told, when we picked our non-district opponents, made our list, we searched out teams that were going to give us a challenge. And I told the kids, if we take a loss for non-district, against New Hampton or Osage or something like that, or Clayton Ridge, it's not the end of the world, because there's no RPI to make the playoffs. And we want to be battle tested going into our district play. And, the state obliged, they gave us a tough schedule. And we're all right with that. We won't shy away, but we understand that we've got some really tough opponents coming up, and we'll have to be ready every week, because you can't overlook anybody on our schedule, because anybody can get you.
And New Hampton going to be your first opponent coming up this Friday night. I know you played New Hampton way back in the day as a football player, but probably not a lot of MFL folks have had any association with the New Hampton program. What do you expect out of the Chickasaws Friday night?
Right. Well, first off, they've got a Hall of Fame football coach, Scott Frerks, over there. Has been doing, I think he might be at 30 or 31 years. I consider myself pretty old, Darren. We're getting up there, and he was the coaching against me when I was playing at Decorah. He was coaching at New Hampton, and we always had some great games, Decorah, New Hampton, back in '94. When your class was a senior, my class was a junior. They beat us in double overtime. They've always been well coached. They're tough. They come right at you. They're not anything fancy. You know what you're going to get. I mean, Coach Ferks could hand me this playbook and say, here you go. And we can do the same thing. Here's our playbook. There you go. And, it's a matter of what can we get our kids to learn in a week or so and get them to play hard. And, I don't think there'll be any surprises either way. It's just 2 hard-nosed football teams, that are tough kids battling it out. And, we just hope we come out on the positive end. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, we may be old in age, but we're young at heart, my friend. Can we go with that?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So hopefully we got, I got a bunch of years left doing this, and I appreciate you, what you do too, and bringing awareness to our football team and around the community. Everybody enjoys it.
All right, Dan. Now, hopefully you can get off to a good start this Friday night. Should be another fun season of Bulldog football. We wish you best of luck.
I got you a shirt here too, by the way. Their old "Run People Over" shirt. Remember I told you I'd get you one? There you go. You got to tell me what size you want right there. Full steam ahead. That's been our motto all year. We didn't take any time off. So you let me know what size you want. Send me an address. I'll send you a shirt.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. Dan Anderson, head coach of the MFL Marmac Bulldogs. They open up against the Chickasaws of New Hampton Friday night.